Hey fellow collectors, this is Carl and welcome to another unboxing. So we will unbox obviously this statue, and I will be showing you guys in a while what this statue is. Meanwhile, like and subscribe if you haven't, or you could join our Facebook group to see more custom statues or upcoming statues or what have you. And with that said, let's start the unboxing. This guy is heavily wrapped. So we do have an art box, and you're going to find out what this is. Now, can you tell what this is? If you do, you could comment down below on what you think this statue is. How about now? Doesn't make a difference? Let's change. How about now? Do you already know what character this is going to be? Comment it down below. So let's start the unboxing of this guy. I think the box is upside down. Oh, it's not. It's the other way around. So it came in the usual custom black foam with Velcro straps. I'm so confused right now. Oh, the studio provided their logo on the Velcro straps. That is. Is this top layer? Yes, it is. So let's go and find the base first. So the base isn't here. It's gonna be at the bottom. Oh, this is very thin. And here we have the base. So upon holding this part of the base, it feels like it's quite fragile. So try and pick up the statue and the sides and not by the stuff on top of it. So now here we have the base. And let's look at the sticker. And this is the Ironman Mark V by Reborn Studios with an edition size of 50, and I got number 33. This statue is sculpted by Skylu 3D, and some names here for the team behind Reborn Studio. So here's the base. And let's start with this guy. So they did provide a coin for the statue, which is really cool. This is the first time I've gotten something like this. It says here, Reborn Studio Coin Series Limited Edition. And at the front, we have a picture of Ironman Mark V, the portrait. And it says here, it's PCCB Professional Coin Display Slab. Don't know really what that is, but looks pretty cool. It's the first time. And we have this guy. What is this guy? Oh, I think this is going to be a torso stand. And here we have Iron Man. So since we have a torso stand, I think we need to be careful because the torso might detach itself. I don't think it's a torso stand. It could be a portrait stand. Okay. So the chest plate is removable. Okay, there you go. Iron Man does have a peg and key on his right foot, which goes to the base. Okay, not the most perfect of fit, but it's good enough. Next, oh, we have a chest plate switch out. This is a battle damage one, since this one is a cleaner look. Next, we have this. Looks like a boomerang. Oh, okay. It goes here at the back. It's supposed to hide the batteries for the light up feature. Okay. Next, we have a portrait. It's actually quite heavy. Also have a different portrait here from the Hot Toys Ironman Mark IV. The custom one seems to be a bit bigger. Yeah. So let's install the portrait. Okay. And we have another portrait. This time it's the battle damage portrait. I think I like this one better. It's quite hard to align the thing at the back. This key-like thing that looks like an adapter, since you kinda can't see where it goes. Okay, there you go. So this one can go here at the portrait stand. Now to the second layer. We've already gotten the base, and it's time for the arms. So we have the left arm here. Let's start with the battle damage one. Okay, there you go. Oh, I mean the non-damage one. So let's try and use the damage one here. And we're done. So let's talk more about the statue. So let's start with the base. This is from the scene from the Iron Man 2 movie where Iron Man was fighting, what was his name again? Anyway, tell me down in the comments below because I've forgotten what the guy's name is. So this is where he was waiting for Happy to bring him the suitcase which transformed him into the Iron Man Mark V. So we have here the broken parts of the Formula 1 race car. We have the body, we have part of the spoiler, the wing, and we have the tires. So the base is just obviously just the road and what's supposed to be underneath the road. I'm used to seeing customs. This part of the base should be brown since it's going to be like the soil underneath the road. But they didn't do that. They just painted it the same color as the top one, and I kind of don't like it that it looks like that, but I think that's just nitpicking. It would have been definitely better if they separated it properly. So we have the tires here for the Formula 1 car. Not a lot of shading here at the rims of the wheel, but they did highlight the damaged area of the rim, the wheel. The wheel, the tire, doesn't have any textures to it except for the battle damage ones, and it's mostly painted with one color, this one and the tires. I think that's okay. And I don't know what this part is really of the car, but it seems to be painted quite okay. Kind of looks like that it's metal because they added some of this silver paint here randomly for scratches. And we have a spring here which is also painted pretty good. It also has some random weathering on the paint. It's color black. And we have another spring here. It's very consistent from the first one here. And we see this guy again. I think this is the one that holds the wheel. I'm not sure. But it's painted pretty good. Very, very consistent from this one. However, I don't like the paint they use on the body of the vehicle. The weathering isn't really convincing, the paint. It's like they just painted it with silver on the damaged areas or the cracks. They didn't try to make it look good, in my opinion. They just like painted it whatever paint the prototype has. And kinda don't like this one. Kinda looks like that it's sticker. Yeah, I don't know why this kinda looks weird. Like the whole paint job of the this part of the base looks very dirty, but this one looks very, very red. They didn't add any weathering to it. That's why it kind of really pops out, you know. And as for this wing or spoiler here at the base, the paint looks okay. Again, they just did some random stuff on the damage area, which in my opinion kinda looks bad. Again, the lettering here, which has Stark Motor Racing, is again too clean, like this part of the base, which is a miss since it's supposed to be like battle damage. It's supposed to be heavily weathered. So I think the paint on the base is a miss, but the scope is okay. Now as for Ironman, I really like the reds they use. It's very similar to the Iron Studios Ironman I did. What mark was it? 85 or 55? Forgot. The one from Endgame. The paint they use is very similar. I'm not sure if it's similar. Oh no, this one's pretty dull. This is definitely better. And actually, they also painted the gray areas just with one color, similar to the Iron Studios one. But they added more shading and some highlights on the battle damage areas. As for the scope, I think it's pretty good. It's what you would expect if from an Ironman statue. It has a lot of details like screws here on the sides, and they don't look like they're glued to one another. Like you could see that there are definitely layers on his armor. Yeah, lots of details here on the side, at the back of his legs, and on his armor here. And there's a lot of details here on his armpits and on the sides of his arms. And at the back, you could also see those details. I think it would have been better if they added some shading to highlight it. I don't know why Iron Man statues doesn't have shading. Maybe it looks bad. I'm not sure. I haven't seen one yet. And let's look at the battle damage arm. You could see Tony's fingers here. The armor has been scraped off or removed, so it's battle damage. all throughout the arm. Yeah, you could also see the armor here too on the upper part, on the biceps area, because it's painted blue. I like the scope of the battle damage. I think they could have added more stuff to make the weathering or the battle damage realistic paint wise, but the scope is good. I like it. And as for the cleaner version, the red is very similar, and the gray areas, it's just that obviously the battle damage part is not there. I think it would have been easier if they used bigger connectors for the light up features, like similar to the Sideshow Mark 43 that I unboxed, and similar to that classic Ironman. The keys here is quite thin, like maybe like 0.05 centimeter or something, or maybe even less. So it's quite hard to aim it at the keyhole. So let's check out the battle damage chest piece. Sculpt looks pretty good, honestly. The details doesn't look like they're glued together. Though if they look glued together, I think it would look okay, since it's battle damage, and the parts probably have melted when the villain hit him with that thing, this lasso. Scope is pretty good, especially the centerpiece here, the arc reactor. Comparing it to the clean one, yeah, I would expect it to be very consistent, since the sculptor probably sculpted this first, then just added the battle damages. So let's talk about the portrait, the last thing here. Again, it still has some little details here at his jaw. It still looks pretty good. Doesn't look like they're glued to each other. Again, the battle damages is the sculpt is pretty consistent from all the other battle damage area. The portrait honestly looks pretty good, especially the battle damage one. It even lost this part of the helm here, and it exposed some of the stuff beneath the helm. Really pain in the head to insert this one. Okay, there you go. So yeah, all I can say is I don't like the paint on the base. It could definitely better. I like the paint on Ironman, but I kinda don't like the gray part since they look too clean to me. But the battle damage areas kinda offset that, so it's a bit better, but not really. But overall, the paint on Ironman is okay. I mean, you could choose to display him like this without the battle damages, and the paint would have been consistent, and I think that would have been better. But I do like him to be battle damage, to be more realistic from what happened to the movie. And if I compare this to my Iron Studios Endgame Iron Man, I would say that the sculpt is very similar. It's like it was sculpted by the same person, so you wouldn't even know that this was a custom statue. Honestly, the sculpt is really good. It's just that the paint on the face again is a bit of a miss in my opinion. This is actually not a very expensive statue. I think it's priced fairly, and as an Iron Man fan, I think This was like 700 to 750 US dollars, and I don't mind paying that money for this. I think it's a good deal since I love Ironman, and it's not like I would see another Ironman Mark V armor. And like I said, the sculpt is pretty good. And if I do want to improve the statue, I could always have it repainted, but that's not a priority right now since there's a lot of other statues that I would prefer to get repainted first. But this one, in my opinion, it looks okay. It doesn't need a repaint. Like, nobody's going to look at the base. Like, people will definitely look at Iron Man and would appreciate the paint, and they would say like, oh, he's so shiny and all that. Oh, it has a lot of these small details which people would appreciate. And even me, I appreciate the small details they sculpted into his armor. Doesn't look boring because of those. So yeah, this guy does have a light up feature, but I don't have a battery for that. Maybe it already has. Doesn't. Yeah. So the batteries here is at the back, and I'm guessing the portrait would light up. I think the chest would light up, and the arm. Yeah, I'm guessing the arm. Both hand palms would light up, and the chest plate fell down. Like I said, doesn't have magnet, or it's not tight enough. But if you're not going to move it, it's not going to fall. So yeah, that's the end of the unboxing and my first impression on this custom quarter scale Ironman Mark V. So tell me down in the comments below on what you think of this statue. Thank you for watching till the end. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.